Hello and welcome to the final episode of Romance of the Three Games, in which we're going to have 4 battles actually, throughout which we are going to complete both Empires and Extreme Mode. But we're starting with mission 22 of Extreme Mode, Liu Bei's next adventure out into the world. As usual, with the objective to kill as many people as he can to steal their money at the highly suspicious Bureau de Change that seems to change dead bodies into money through varying exchange rates. I don't know how the Chinese economy works, but it seems a little bit off. Anyway, we're in the shop, buying up pretty much everything. You can see I've got so much money, might as well just buy all this stuff, whether it's useful or not. Considered buying health here, but I thought I'm going to be cocky and try and look for some health in the stage. Spurred on by last week's success, where I actually found 100 points worth of health during the stage. I'm hoping that will happen again. So this is one of the usual bandit leader missions, which I quite like, where basically you'll have to fight the bandit leader and his 2 lieutenants towards the end, and they'll drop some high level items, or at least they usually do. So I was kind of attracted by that, because items are a nice way to very quickly improve Liu Bei's skill. So we started off as usual, being bombarded by enemies, and start hacking my way through them, and doing the usual constant looking for items. I rode south and came across Zhang Xiao here.
I would have a word with you. The heavens have asked for a maiden. Bring one to me.
So he really wants a woman. He wants me to bring her Sun Shang, but I'm not really willing to do that. I know I did it for Dong Zhuo a whole bunch of episodes back, but he was my adopted father. That was different. Anyway, I killed this guy, Hang Xuan, who was standing around near Zhang Zhao. I believe while I was fighting him, some enemy reinforcements arrived. It was a bandit lieutenant. So then I rode towards that said lieutenant to take him out. Here he is. You can see the merchant is with me. I often wonder what that merchant's actually supposed to be trading, because he's not carrying anything. He's just standing there. So he's trading something you can conceal on your person. Perhaps some sort of very valuable crack cocaine. It's not 100% sure. But everyone sure wants him dead, so whatever it is, it's valuable. Anyway, now I moved on inside the castle after looking for more items and found Yuan Shao. And according to his dialogue, he doesn't remember who I am, so he doesn't remember the massive beatdown he dealt me a couple of stages back, which is unfortunate. Because pretty much the only reason I came up here to fight him was because I want some revenge. It's time for me to take down Yuan Shao. No goal, but of course Yuan Shao is actually still quite annoying to fight, and he is doing me some fair damage. He was very good at blocking. He actually managed to hold me off for a long time. Kept doing that little jumping slash again, which is the same problem I had back in the Kingdom Defense battle where he was zoning me up. He just did it again there. Because it's faster than anything you can do, so it always just hits you before you can make your move. He uses his announce on me and it partially works. I managed to just about hit him towards the end of it. Now I'm trapped in the corner. Because of the camera I can't actually tell what I'm doing, so I needed to get out of this corner. I jumped away and try and draw Yuan Shao into the open, so we can do things fair and square. Take out the last of his 2 guards there, so now it's 1-on-1. Of course the merchant's still there, although the merchant takes a cheeky chop and flies off screen. We draw and weapon deadlock, but then he takes me down, breaking my guard with the jumping slash yet again. I try and do the jumping slash on him. He tries it on me, misses, but the merchant again takes a hit to the face. He's really taking all the collateral damage in this battle, poor guy. Now Yuan Shao's really chasing me, but I managed to hit him with that ground pound. I thought that wouldn't work actually. I was surprised to manage to hit him. I thought he would jump up and hit me out of the air, but no. He misses with his jumping slash, and I turn and block him again. You can see it's pretty much just a blocking contest here. Block is Musu, and he's the tiny bit of delay at the end of his Musu gives me an opportunity to start hitting him. And now, since he's staggered from my hit, I can finish him off. Lovely jubbly. Revenge has been had on Yuan Shao. Liu Bei must be a little bit happier now. So it was now time to go and look around the whole map for items again. First I had to get through these 2 guys, one of which is a subordinate officer of the other. I think I'm going to kill them in the wrong order actually. Liu Feng is the commanding officer, and I accidentally kill him first because I wasn't really paying attention. What I was paying attention to is some of the things you're seeing in the background. Well, not at the moment, but they are off to my current right. There are something like 25 sorceresses just standing there, and I was really worried that they were going to come over and start fighting me. Luckily they didn't. They just stood there looking at me, and I thought, well, if they're not actually going to come in and engage me, maybe I can just ignore them. So I stole this horse and just ran by them. There they go. They did try to hit me as I got near, but I ran off. Unfortunately, I noticed that they were actually following me, so I thought, you know, I'm going to have to go back and fight them, otherwise they're going to follow me into the enemy commander, and I'm going to have to fight all those officers in the enemy's main camp, where there's a commander and 2 lieutenants, with their sorcerers, sorry, also whomping on me. So as you can see, I'm actually trying to take them out, but I'm taking constant damage. I'm trying to break up their little groups, because when they're in groups like that, you can't get in, because there's no way your combo won't be blocked by one of those attacks. Oh god, and I'm frozen. Liu Bei is just too cool, and now he's basically spamming the Musu just to take off this group, but it doesn't even kill half of them, only 2 of them die. There's another group here, they managed to hit me. I've just taken a whole bunch of hits from this little sorcerer's engagement, and by this point I actually just decided, you know what, I'm just going to run. I'm going to try and kill the enemy commander before the sorcerers can catch up with me. So here I am in the enemy main camp. There's a bandit leader and 2 lieutenants. A bunch of archers were there at the beginning. I had to take them out, otherwise this fight would have been insanely annoying. Now, they have a whole bunch of bandits guarding them, but those bandits are pretty much going down straight away to Liu Bei's killing everything strategy. This lieutenant gets a nice combo on me. For some reason I didn't use my Musu earlier. I just felt convinced that he would stop attacking me. I think I'm getting too used to playing Empire's mode, where if you start getting comboed in Empire's mode, there's a chance the enemy officer will just randomly stop comboing you because the AI is a little off. But yes, I didn't realise that in Xtreme Mode they're more ruthless. Once they start hitting you, they'll never stop until you do something about it. I had to trigger my Musu there. Almost taken out all of the troops around. You can see the sorcerers there in the background have actually shown up, but they're not close enough to engage me. So this is pretty damn useful. All those sorceresses are just standing out of attack range. It does mean I can't really leave the little square I'm in now, otherwise they're going to attack me. But nor do I don't need to, because there's enough space. I'm trying to take out this lieutenant before I kill the bandit leader. I almost kill the bandit leader by accident there. Run back, but then the bandit leader starts hitting me. I'm forced to use my Musu to break his attack, and I kill him by accident. So unfortunately I didn't kill that last lieutenant, very annoying. But I did get the 1,000 points from the merchant who survived. I had no idea where he was, because he wasn't with me at the end. I guess he was off doing his own thing somewhere in the stage, perhaps trading some of his crack cocaine, and apparently he didn't die in the process. Now the item I got, the Tortoise Amulet level 16, was damn sweet. That's a really good item drop. I expected more. Perhaps that lieutenant I didn't kill at the end there would have had the other high level item on the stage. Now I didn't find any health during the stage as well, you might have noticed. As for money, I'm back up to the same amount of money I had when I started. Very nice. We'll be seeing more from Xtreme Mode later on. Now it's time for Empire's Mode, and I'm picking a policy. We're actually going into the final battle, in theory. There's only 1 enemy territory left. I pick a fairly boring policy of getting fire arrows and slightly upping the troop counts, filling out some of the ranks. So we're going to have pretty much, well, almost the same amount of troops as our enemy. Liu Bei has the maximum possible army size, and we have just a little bit smaller, mainly because Yanmei's unit there doesn't have full troops. But we can match him well, which means the morale balance at the beginning is going to be okay. I'm taking Yumi and the lieutenants who give us the most troops, which are Ma Xiong and Hua Xiong. Pretty handy. So now we get a fun cutscene. Let's watch it.
My lord, the land needs you. You must stand forth.
We will accompany you. We will fight for you to the last man.
Very weird voice acting from these 2 soldiers.
Will soon be in our control.
She sounds very satisfied about this. Notice a lot of our troops don't have weapons. This doesn't look good.
Let's go. The new era awaits.
So Yanmei's eyebrows reach for the sky as she says that a new era awaits us. Our generic officers just kind of make sure their fists can still be clenched in response. Not a very emotional response to that speech. Anyway, because this is going to be a pretty climactic battle, I'm just going to really load out all the items I can get, all the best ones, including the elephant harness, which I've never used so far. It allows you to spawn an elephant right at the beginning to rampage through the enemy forces, although elephants aren't as useful in Dynasty Warriors 4 as they were in Dynasty Warriors 5 and the later games, so it's not actually very helpful to have elephants. You can see here from the morale balance, the enemy is a little bit higher than us, but not very much. We're actually quite well matched. We actually have more troops than them to begin with because Liu Bei's unit isn't on the map.
This one will be close. Everyone
So actually, pretty matched, as Yanmei implies at the beginning. So the first order of business was to move forward into the first enemy base. I've got my elephant, started trying to smash through some of these enemies using the elephant's ground pound attack. I was taking fire arrows, which is a bit of an issue, and then I got knocked off. And that's pretty much the last I'll see of that elephant because I decided to just fight on foot. No, actually I think I do go back to it later for some transport uses. We'll see. So I was attacked by Xing Daorong, the enemy officer. He went down straight away, but then after he left, Meng Huo showed up, who was a little bit more interesting, so I'm going to show you my fight with him. Now Meng Huo is basically very powerful but has very low defense, so as long as you keep hitting him, he actually dies really fast. And because he has one of the slowest first attacks in the game in his combo, he's pretty much one of the only officers who can be beaten by Yanmei by just swinging at him wildly, because he doesn't have enough time to hit you before your swing connects, which with most other officers isn't true. Yanmei has one of the slower first attacks. So after taking him out, I noticed there were like 15 archers here shooting fire arrows from the background. And because Guan Yu just showed up, I knew there's a hard fight about to begin, so I thought I'll clear out these archers first. But I'm taking so many arrows, you can see I'm pretty much always on fire. This last group was frustrating me so much I just used my Musu to kill them. There we go. Now I need to get back in and take out Guan Yu. You can see him there, taking out some of my own troops. He's got a Lieutenant General to support him. He gives me a combo. Oh god, I'm on fire. Okay, I pretty much almost died within the first 2 seconds of fighting Guan Yu. He hits me again with a massive slash and I almost died completely. And so I just completely ran from that engagement. A while later, after visiting one of my own bases, Guan Yu had caught up to me, so I decided to fight him again. Only this time I had some of the allied officers helping me out. Here's Liu Bei, you can see there's an allied Lieutenant General around as well, and a few troops from the base that I'm next to. So now things are a little bit easier, but Guan Yu is still being very annoying. You can see I am having the issue here that if I try and swing at him, he just swings at me a little bit faster and gets a hit. So there's no real way to break his guard from the front. I have to try and attack around him like I just did there, or have an ally distract him, which is what I'm hoping Liu Bei will do. And there we go, we also have Sun Shangshang and Ma Zhong coming in to get involved in this action. It seems that Yanmei is kind of getting upstage here. All these guys are completely whomping on Guan Yu, and Yanmei's just left. She's too short to really get involved. Come on, I'm trying to get this last kill. Come on, get the hit. No, Liu Bei got it in the end, I think. So I didn't get my first kill against Guan Yu, how unfortunate, but we are going to fight him a whole bunch more times, so hopefully I'll get a chance to kill him later on. Went back to that base I was fighting in right at the beginning, and that enemy officer Yin Li was around. Took him out pretty easy, and then take out the last few troops to capture the base. And just after I left, Meng Huo showed up, and luckily I had an attack times 2, so it took me, what was that, like 5 seconds to kill him immediately? An incredibly quick defeat for Meng Huo in his second appearance. I got rid of him. So I moved south, captured the next base. Xing Daorong with another appearance. I had a free Musu 10 seconds thing, so I spammed him a little with my Musu and hit him away. Now at the same time, Liu Bei spawns onto the map, so the enemy now has their full troop count, and they're just a tiny bit lower than ours at the moment. I've killed enough troops so far to pretty much negate the reinforcements that Liu Bei is bringing. Also a whole bunch of peasants spawn onto the map around this point as well. It's not really a threat because peasants die in one hit and they're not very effective in battle, but they just kind of get in the way. Here are some peasants there, just smashed a whole group of them away. Trying to get at Yin Li, but the peasants are just blocking my sword. How annoying, there's another group of peasants here. Oh, that got rid of them. Nice. So next, I'm still pretty much next to that base I just captured. Meng Huo came up, and I defeated him for the 3rd time. I got rid of him. But then before I could leave, Guan Yu showed up again, so now it's time for my second real battle with Guan Yu. Actually, I think this is my 3rd battle with Guan Yu because I cut one of them out. Yes, I had to fight Guan Yu before taking that base as well. So this is the 3rd time I'm fighting Guan Yu, and he's still equally annoying, but I have this Lieutenant General here who's actually really helping. Smashing at Guan Yu with my lightning attacks there to do extra damage. That Lieutenant General does a terrible slash, completely misses me. Misses the enemy, sorry. And then Xing Daorong comes in to try and distract me from Guan Yu. Luckily he isn't aggressive enough to actually stop me from continually whomping. However, Guan Yu, being ever so slightly faster than Yanmei, just runs away, and Xing Daorong spears me to the ground, and I'm forced to switch my attention to take him out. So Guan Yu got away that time. Very unfortunate. And when I walked outside the camp, Meng Huo was there. He just respawned as you saw, and he challenged me to a duel. So it is time, let's do it. I was pretty confident because I knew Meng Huo isn't actually very good. He is one of the characters who, as I said, can be defeated by pretty much anyone by just attacking him constantly. But first I have to get around his guard. I was quite lucky to guard that counter-attack by him, but then as a result I get a nice combo on him. He uses his Musu and I use mine at the same time by accident, and we go into Musu lock, which is the same as a weapon deadlock, but a bit harder to win, and we draw. He announces me backwards. I should have attacked when he started using his announce, but for some reason I thought he was hitting me, so I jumped, because jumping halves the damage you take from attacks. And now I'm getting a very nice combo on him. The lightning, doing the extra damage, really makes a difference. So I'm about to win, all I need to do is hit him a couple more times, but then he starts doing this, he parries me, and he's invincible while he's doing his parry animation, so even though I am actually hitting him, he doesn't take up any health. And now there's only 2 seconds left, and he wastes the rest of the match with his Musu, about which I can do nothing. So we actually ended with about the same amount of health, even though it actually looked like I was doing really well during the match. Disappointing, but at least it means Meng Kuo out here on the battlefield now has pretty much no health. I get hit by the Lieutenant General, knocking me into the red, but that just means I can trigger my true Musu, which is going to kill Meng Kuo in one go, and a whole bunch of these guards around him. And there we go, the situation is dealt with. Next up, Xing Daorong moved up from the enemy main camp, and he challenged me to a duel. And I was a little bit even more confident than I was with Meng Kuo, because Xing Daorong so far has proven to be useless, just taking him down completely in all the fights they've had on the battlefield. I start spamming him with my 4th level charge, using the lightning to do tons of damage to him, and it also sort of stuns him, knocks him a really short distance, so when you fall down you're pretty much in a position to combo him again, and I just keep chaining it until he starts blocking, which is unfortunate. But then he does a really inaccurate thrust with his spear, allows me to get behind him with my Musu and take him out. So his tactics were not very good, they were definitely Daorong ones. Terrible. So yeah, that got rid of him. Now I was pretty much ready to attack the enemy main camp, but I didn't want to do that because I knew Liu Bei was going to own me, because that's how I lost last time. So instead I went to help some of the allied officers. You can see Yanmei got defeated just before I arrived, so it was a good thing I actually came over here and started, well, getting a position to help out. So let's see what the actual situation is. Sun Shang's up there almost dead. You've got Yin Li, Guan Yu and Meng Kuo, 3 enemy officers all fighting in this little canyon. So all I needed to do was draw them off one by one and take them out. Sun Shang falls back to a nearby base to regain health. That's good for her. So I started fighting. Meng Kuo and Yin Li went down really easily. But of course the problem is Guan Yu, who is, as always, wherever I go on the battlefield, seeming to get in my way. The advantage I have is that Sun Shang's troops, and Mahjong's troops in fact, are still here with me, so I can use them as distractions for Guan Yu, as particularly the archers. We have fire archers in this stage, because of the policy I brought at the beginning. So they're a little bit better than they would have been normally, just because they do extra fire damage. I actually start doing quite badly. Guan Yu hits me loads of times, then after an archer behind him distracts him a little bit, I managed to get a nice combo on him. Attack around his guard with a nice combo there, and now he's actually looking to run away. You can kind of tell because he's not facing me, he wants to run in that direction, and he actually starts to manage it, and of course he's faster than me, but I realise he's going to run in a straight line, so I can take him out with a cheeky arrow. There he goes. Wasn't going to let Guan Yu escape a second time, that would be very mean. So he's defeated, and I basically rampaged on and took 2 enemy bases in a row, and then since I had actually captured some territories with enemy officers in it, I went back and managed to capture Meng Kuo, which is a good thing because I've missed the opportunity during that duel to capture him. So capturing him now removes him from play. Very nice. The problem is there's only 7 minutes left here, and we're moving on now. There's only 5 minutes left now. I captured the next enemy base, so now the enemy main camp is completely out of supply, which just means the people defending it will be less aggressive because I've captured the bases beside it. Now I came into the enemy main camp, had to spend the next 2 minutes fighting Guan Yu just to get in, so now there are only 2 minutes left. My only hope is to kill all of the troops inside the main camp without enemy officers coming in to stop me. The problem is Guo Tu here and his clone Lieutenant General wasted more of my time because I had to fight them. They were inside the enemy main camp. All the while Liu Bei was fighting in the background, and he finally noticed me and came in himself. Now that Liu Bei is in the main camp, there's absolutely no chance of taking it because he has so much health and defense. I actually can't physically kill him in the amount of time remaining at the stage. A very nice dodge from that Lieutenant General's attack, but now I just have to try and pull Liu Bei out of the base in such a way that he won't come back in. The only way to do that is to lead him away and have an ally soldier attack him, so it changes his focus. However, it's actually not too likely to happen, so I was kind of losing hope at this stage. I thought maybe I can kill Liu Bei in the remaining minute, but his health's going down pretty slow, and it probably would have turned into a giant blocking and attacking match as it always does with these high level AI officers. Liu Bei for some reason runs over to touch that wall, perhaps an OCD trait, and then he absolutely combos me. And again there, so I've lost 2/3 of my health all of a sudden. That's not good. This is the big problem with playing as Yanmei. She has really low defense. Oh god. Low defense and low movement speed are a very dangerous combo. I guess that's the price you pay when you're carrying the world's greatest sword. So now you can see the stage came to an end. I almost died but managed to just hold out. But we have been defeated because we didn't complete the stage. I mean, we defeated all the enemy officers, we killed half their troops, but we didn't capture the main camp before the half-hour time limit expired. So that means it's a defeat. And because it's a defeat, that means you have to lose an officer. The officer we lost was Mahjong. He was captured by the enemy. It's not so much of a problem because I have a replacement, but it is a shame because he has been a long-serving member of Yanmei's force.
We have to be careful next time.
So I can always just try again, and we'll see that a little bit later on. But before that, we're going to move back into Empire's Xtreme Mode, sorry. Keep saying the wrong mode titles. Now this, Mission 23, is particularly special because this is the mission in which Liu Bei finally comes to his deadly fate. Which of course is why this is going to be the last episode of Romance of the Three Games, as you'll see. For the mission choices, I just went for the one with the highest exchange rate. I had the monster is terrorizing people here description. And throughout the stage I didn't know what that actually was, what the monster was supposed to be, but I find out right at the end, and it was pretty annoying. We'll see that in a moment. As per usual these days, I'm just buying loads of stuff from the shop. Really should have bought some health, but again, being pretty cheeky and not buying it. So here's the stage. It's quite small because you can't actually get inside that. The castle in the centre, all the gates are closed, which means really it's just this small box-shaped bit of ground to explore, and the small depot to the west side which had nothing in it. So the enemy commander is Ma Chao there in the corner, so basically the objective is just to kill the guy to my north and then work around the south side of the map, killing all those officers lined up before I get to Ma Chao. A nice easy stage, in theory. So it started off with a few troops to kill. I moved north and killed Ho Lan, as I'd planned. And then after that I pretty much just ran around looking for items for ages, and very unlucky I didn't find anything at all. Now come to begin my run down the south side of the map, fighting with Ma Su. I win a weapon deadlock, and that spells his doom. I have loads of allied troops helping me out here as well, which is quite useful. So there we go, that got rid of him. So right next to Ma Su is Gan Ning, who was fighting in the background. So I had to come over and fight with him. Gan Ning proves to be a little bit stronger than Ma Su, just because he's really aggressive. I do still have some allied troops helping me out, with some of my own allied troops are actually being quite useless. We'll see that in a moment. Struggling to get actually any hits on Gan Ning because he keeps blocking, especially because he's trying to block the attacks from these allied troops, and because he's basically permanently in block mode as a result, not really getting any hits on him. I move to try and get around the back of him, but he quickly turns around and stuns me, hits me with a combo. The guy behind me saves me from getting hit by another combo, but then Gan Ning, yeah, he uses his Musu all of a sudden, hits me again. Luckily I wasn't hit during the stun phase of that Musu, thanks to more allied troops distracting Gan Ning. But now look at this in the background, look at all my allied troops, they're just standing there, facing the wrong direction, not getting involved. Finally a few of those guys there decide to come over and help, but the guys in the background, they're really being useless. So I wasn't very happy with these guys, they weren't helping out at all, especially because I already lost some health. I'm on yellow health now, I was kind of annoyed about this. Trigger my Musu there to finish Gan Ning off, and he drops some sort of item. So next, I just need to move east. Another enemy officer, Xiaohu He, was standing here. He was defended by loads of archers, so he was really annoying to kill. I kept getting hit by arrows the whole time, so my health has gone down again. Oh, got hit by another arrow there. So after that I took some revenge on all these archers in the background by whomping on them with its attack ×2, and I had a defense ×2 as well to defend against their shots. So I checked the rest of the map for items, came down here, and here's what the monster was. It's Juggernauts, and Ma Chao was fighting amongst them, and he just hit me with his Musu again and again. This is not good. So this Juggernaut kind of started blocking me, so I used my Musu to break through it, smash my way through the Juggernaut, but another one hits me from behind, sets me on fire. Ma Chao juggles me with his Musu, smashes me into the corner. I'm now on red health. This is not good. He smashes me to the ground again. I try and fight my way out through his troops, but a Juggernaut's closing in on me, so now I'm really trapped in this corner, especially with Ma Chao constantly refilling his Musu bar somehow, using it over and over again. I get really badly hit by that Juggernaut and trigger my true Musu in an attempt to destroy it. It doesn't quite destroy it, but it takes up most of its health, allows me to take it down. That's 2 of the 3 Juggernauts destroyed. Start whomping on the last of Ma Chao's troops, and then Ma Chao rushes forward and starts really hitting me. I block for long enough to charge my true Musu, and then start hitting him with it. A lot of the blows miss though, because it's sending him on such crazy flight patterns I can't actually hit him. He uses his Musu again, but I just run away. I don't know how he's using his Musu so much. His combo somehow breaks my combo, juggles me into the air, and I die. And then he just sits on me, just to really rub it in. So that's the end of Liu Bei's journey. We completed 22 levels and died on the 23rd. We got super rich and got number 1 on the scoreboard because of my vast wealth that I had acquired during the stage, and because I completed 22 missions, which is greater than 20, the recommended high amount. So goodbye Liu Bei. Of course we still have Liu Bei here in Empire's mode. Jesus. Zhurong here had a really good policy, restore all officers' troops to max, and how could I resist that? So now our army is as full as it can possibly be. That's extremely useful. And look at this, Liu Bei's army has way fewer troops than it should have because of the last battle. They obviously weren't able to restore enough troops during their policy phase. I think they only did a troop restore of 500 by the looks of things. Which means I'm now going to have a huge advantage in this battle right from the beginning, especially because 2 of their officers, Xing Daorong and Meng Huo, have only 500 troops, and officers that have 500 or fewer troops cannot respawn during the level, which means effectively if I can defeat them once, they're gone forever. So that's going to mean the enemy is going to have pretty much only 3 or 4 officers to play with right from the beginning after the first engagement. I'm using all the items I can. Again, I didn't have the Tiger Amulet to increase my attack this time, so I'm using the Speed Scroll to increase my running speed, and this is actually going to be really useful. Yanmei is much better to use with the Speed Scroll equipped, much less tedious. On the morale balance, it looks like our side actually has a slight edge because of our troop advantage, so we're beginning with more morale than them. In a rare twist, we also begin with loads of bases as well because of our high troop count.
They call that an
More bases
army?
than usual. I think we had 2 extra ones from last time. So this is good. All I need to do now is move forward and begin the fight. Xing Daorong and Guan Yu attack me at the same time. You can see I managed to freeze Daorong there, but I really don't want to fight both these guys simultaneously. I draw Xing away, now I can just take him out in peace. I think Guan Yu was fighting with a few allied troops back there, he got distracted. So that's him down. So now I'm going to go and save some of my troops and fight with Guan Yu. And Guan Yu starts comboing me but then stops. That's the thing I mentioned earlier where they'll start hitting you and then just give up after a couple of hits for no reason. It's a really good thing that they do that because I would have been pretty much killed if he had actually bothered to finish his combo. Now I managed to run away from his slashing there, and if I hadn't had the speed scroll I don't think I would have made it away there. He would have started the combo on me, combo on my rear. Now the Ice Orb was proving not as helpful in kind of average combat as the Lightning Orb, but it was still pretty good. We'll see later on the Ice Orb actually comes in really useful in a couple of specific circumstances. It's just not as useful because it can't break the guard of enemy officers, with the Lightning Orb sometimes can. You see I've managed to pull Guan Yu away from the Lieutenant General who's backing him up, and now I'm really taking him down.
This is the real thing.
He was probably thinking of running away now, but I managed to... Oh god, he's not running away, he's fighting to the end. I use my moves to take him out. There we go. So Guan Yu's been defeated early on. He's pretty much the enemy's best asset, so to have him off the field from the beginning was good. Xing Daorong has already been captured, as you saw. I started moving east to help my allied officers, but they defeated Yin Li before I got there. And then Zhurong defeats Meng Huo before I got there. That's the permanent defeat. Meng Huo has been captured by us. So actually I didn't really need to come over here and help my allied officers. Actually when I got there, Guan Yu was somehow there. Guan Yu was just everywhere as usual. I took him out. You can see that I've managed to get him frozen and then use my Musu on him. The Musu does double damage to enemies who are frozen, Yanmei's one in particular. So now I just rampaged down south, took all the bases, nothing stopped me, and we're already attacking the enemy's main camp really near the beginning, so this is good news. You can see Yumi in the background there slashing at the enemy ranks. So I moved up. Guan Yu had respawned again as usual, and Liu Bei was here as well. and there was no way I was going to stay and fight Liu Bei and Guan Yu at the same time. So I'm trying to run away, using my extra speed to do so, and also running just in front of Liu Bei's horse so it pushes me along a little. Ran into a wall there because I wasn't looking where I was going. Got an opportunity to hit Liu Bei off his horse, and I wanted to steal the horse so I could basically run away and fight with Guan Yu. Because now they've been split up a bit by the fact they're both engaging with allied troops. I can try and take them out one at a time. Guan Yu, try and take him out first, because Liu Bei is going to take longer to kill, which means there's going to be more chance that Guan Yu will come back and start getting involved in the fight. Liu Bei actually decides to come back over here and try and fight me, but some allied troops keep him at bay. I freeze Guan Yu, and you can see I get a nice free combo on him because he was frozen. Jumping away so that I'm not sandwiched between Liu Bei and Guan Yu, and then start running away. Liu Bei and Guan Yu decide to chase me, which doesn't help at all. Doing some cheeky running back and blocking. Your block actually doesn't work while you're moving. You can block and move at the same time, but the block doesn't do anything, so there's effectively no point in doing that. The only thing it's helpful for is it allows you to look behind you whilst you're running to see who's chasing you. So I managed to run far enough away that I draw off just Guan Yu and not Liu Bei, and that gives me the chance right there to finish off Guan Yu. Very good.
Enemy officer defeated.
Lovely jubbly. So now it's me and Liu Bei. Let's see if I can take him out. I've got a Lieutenant General here to help me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spam my fourth, well not just my fourth and fifth, but pretty much all of my charge attacks to try and use the ice element. Liu Bei is getting some cheeky hits on me here. Lieutenant General on the background uses the force on him, and that breaks his guard, and that gives me a free combo on him. Very good. I stun him with a powered up charge arrow, and then get another free combo on him using my 4th level charge. He flips away from the final attack. He gets hit by an arrow which breaks his guard, again giving me a chance to attack him. Again he gets hit by an arrow, very nice. So now I'm going to use another ice attack. It freezes him to the spot. I get another freezing attack on him. Just as he unfreezes, I freeze him again with another charge attack. This is going very well. This is what I meant by the ice orb actually being particularly useful in these circumstances. In a one-on-one fight where you have the ability to keep comboing the enemy, it can allow your combos to go on for a very long time, so keep freezing them up. Lieutenant General really helping out there, using the force, stopping him from moving. He freezes again. I use my move, so it's doing its double damage, and it takes him out. Extremely good. That means the final battle for Yanmei has been won. Liu Bei's down, and the land is now entirely Yanmei's. What's she going to do with it? Well, we'll never really know. Get the usual after battle stuff. Didn't take that many casualties in that final battle. Not that it matters anymore because we don't need the troops, they can go off home. We capture all of the enemy officers. It kind of makes you go through this routine even though there's no point because you can't do anything with the officers after the game's over. But you still have to decide whether you want to actually hire them. So I thought, well, I'll just hire a couple because I've actually got 15,000 gold, I might as well. I decided to take on both Liu Bei and Guan Yu because they had both proven to be very able opponents. So I thought they would be good officers to have in our kingdom. Plus it's keeping those two swarm brothers together, which seems nice. The rest of those guys, I'm sending them off to do their own thing. So there we go.
The times have now changed. The chaos has ended.
Everyone's going to be up all night, celebrating the coming of the new era.
The lieutenants are very happy about this.
It paid off working with you.
Zhurong seemed to imply there's some sort of gamble. Well anyway, it looks like a hero's resolve united the land and brought an end to the bloodshed. The people knew joy once more, as the new age would be one of peace. Nice little poem for us there. I guess a verse, something. Just telling us that we've completed the game, that's nice. And normally at this point, you'd get a cutscene, kind of like at the end of Dynasty Warriors Musu mode, where you just see your officers kind of doing nothing to a fun musical montage, but it didn't really work. Let me show you what the screen looked like. It looked like this, so only the upper left hand corner square actually showed the cutscene, and that kind of sucked. So as a result, I decided to make my own little homemade ending cutscene for the end of this and the end of this series. Let's have a look at it.
離れてしまうけど遠回りすればいいさ知らなかった景色が見つかるよ現実をはみ出して 日を照らうことよりもルールをものにして輝きたいもっと Ever free 羽ばたけるさ Ever free 羽はなくても Ever free 両手広げ出会うすべてのため
So that's all for Empires Mode, it's all for this episode, and it's all for this series. I want to thank you all for watching as far as you did, and I hope that I've inspired some of you to actually go and play some classic Dynasty Warriors 4 for yourself. As I mentioned right back at the beginning of the series, in my opinion, it is the best in the Dynasty Warriors games. Perhaps not objectively, because there are certainly plenty to improve on, and lots of things that do annoy me about it, but still, it's the game that gave me the most fond memories, probably spent the most time playing overall, and the game that introduced me to Chinese history in general, which ended up being very influential in my wider life. So for that, I'm very thankful for it. And of course I am thankful to you for watching my series. If you want to stick around, there'll be more gaming videos, let's plays and features coming out on the Officially Devin channel pretty much indefinitely into the future. Lastly, thanks to Koei and Omega Force for producing these games and distributing them in the West for me to enjoy them. I hope you have enjoyed seeing Romance of the 3 games.